The girl with the empty bag. When I was in first grade, there were 5 children in my class who came from an orphanage at the edge of the city. They moved as though contained within an invisible wall, always together, whispering only to each other, playing their quiet games in the corner of the schoolyard. Even at that age, I could read something in them, a particular alertness, the quiet wariness of children who had learned too early that the world beyond their small circle was not safe. Their clothes were clearly distributed at random, loose, faded, colorless. Not personal belongings, institutional property. My mother said they were to be pitied. The adults told us we should help them. I recorded this somewhere deep inside myself, under the heading Moral Obligation. One afternoon, a visiting relative gave me a bag of snacks. I saved half. The next day, I brought it to school. At recess, I walked toward the 5 children with trembling hands and held out the bag. "Would you like some?" They looked at me, cautious, uncertain, and took the snacks. Then, without a word, without looking back, they turned away. I stood there, holding the empty bag. What arrived inside me was not the joy I had imagined. I had expected to become their friend. I had pictured the kind of scene that exists in stories. My kindness breaking through their wall, the 5 of them opening toward me. Instead, there was only silence. And from somewhere inside, a small voice rose. How rude. What a waste. I should have kept it for myself. The wounded 6-year-old drew a conclusion that felt like wisdom at the time. Kindness can be rejected. So from now on, I will give only when I feel like giving. I won't want anything in return. For a long time, this felt like maturity, giving without expectation, a kind of safe, detached goodness. But when I looked more closely, I saw what it really was. It was armor, built by a pride that never wanted to be hurt again. And underneath it, something quieter had been growing. The subtle satisfaction of someone who gives without needing anything back. The ego whispering, "Before anyone can take away my hope, I will remove hope myself." And then I will call that nobility. The cost was real. When someone received my kindness with genuine warmth, I felt uncomfortable. I had made the one who is rejected into my identity. So when real warmth arrived, I turned it away at the door. Once, a student came to me, a woman who had devoted her entire life to faith and goodness. She asked, "Do I have to empty even this? It is everything I am." I said to her, "Empty the belief that you are good. Empty the self that watches its own goodness and draws satisfaction from it. Empty that and see what remains. She came back later in tears, because when she had released the concept of goodness, goodness itself had finally begun to flow. At the center of the love we manufacture, the love we offer while quietly telling ourselves we want nothing in return, there is always the self, always. When that self-centered machinery finally empties out, what remains is not emptiness. It is something older, a warmth that existed long before the wounded 6-year-old decided she would give without hope. It took more than 20 years of practice to empty the wound that small gesture left behind. I found every place where expectation had carved itself into my heart, and I let them go, one by one. Now I give because I can give. I receive because I can receive, without calculation, without keeping score. The way a tree does not decide to make shade, it simply grows, and the shade arrives. I am part of this world. The world moves through me. That is all. That is everything.